Normally, I'd never say that people need to calm down about things to get them riled up. We need folks good and riled up when it comes to affecting change in this nation. Like it or not, we are a big, slow-moving, lumbering, Snorlax-esque beast that doesn't move without a shitload of prodding. And over the past year, we've been subject to ceaseless prodding in the direction that is going to topple a lot of well-greased individuals in the United States government. I'm not here to talk conspiracy theories. This is conspiracy of the highest order. We knew that going into this presidency that not only would our world change, the show change, and our families change, but I doubt we ever had a clue that the United States itself would change in a way that is not only inspiring, but frightening at the same time. This huge economy, this grand experiment, isn't a nation that likes change at all. We've seen that with the steady level of racism rising since its inception, and this has continued well past slavery, past Jim Crow, and past President Obama into the problem that we see right now with the NFL and people being mad at others taking a knee in silent protest. Now, I don't give two fucks about football. Okay, wait, I take that back. I appreciate the game and the athletes who play it, but I guess what I'm saying is that I don't give two shits about the us versus them mentality that professional sports fosters. That's all better spent in the real world dichotomies like atheist and theist, or Superman and Darkseid, or, human being and Republican. But I digress. I guess what I'm trying to say is that people being inconvenienced by the slightest shit seems to be the way that protests keep happening in this nation. Whether it be having a road blocked for a little bit by BLM protesters, or having professional athletes taking a knee instead of standing up during a jingoistic celebration that was not only bought and paid for by the military, but is something that is just there to drum up people enlisting in the giant war machine that we have as this nation. You read that right. There's no honor in it. There's no patriotism in it. It's a cynical way for the NFL to make money and for us to donate more bodies to the meat grinder. What's good is that now some folks seem to be poked and prodded enough that they're starting to turn over and wake the fuck up. When I said earlier that it's inspiring, I mean specifically that this nation is very good at taking giant leaps in progress. It's capable of the opposite too, but that only factors a little into the frightening aspect of this country. The frightening thing about this nation is that once it's awake, it can lash out in ways that need to be directed specifically. Otherwise, we end up with a third Iraq war, or much worse. None of us want the sequel to the Korean conflict. None of us want to see the Cold War return that's, it's been simmering for a long time. We want that taken off the burner, but it's still slightly too warm to touch. We want this nation that has been roused from its slumber to effect change for the better. We want the politicians to be flogged and rode out on a rail for not doing the will of its people. We want single-payer health care. We want equal rights underneath the Constitution. We want more than what this country is currently giving us. It's not selfish. We want competent infrastructure. We want 100% employment with jobs that actually pay enough to live on so we could spend more time with our families. We want to get a higher education that doesn't line the pockets of the incredibly rich while making us broke at the same time. We want our kids to grow up feeling safe and secure. We just want better. And now that we're starting to see the mess that we're in politically, and I mean all three branches, we could start identifying on how to make it better. We could figure out how to ensure that the old racist dudes who put us in this place will never be able to do so again. We could start making the world a little less afraid, and we can certainly start taking care of our fellow man instead of saying the motto we've adopted, fuck you, I've got mine. At least that's how I read In God We Trust, and we can go back to the E Pluribus Unum, where it meant that something for us to be an American, where we didn't have to pin flag pins on our lapels, where we didn't have to say a pledge, stand for the anthem, claim that we're so fucking great, where we simply are just patriotic for showing the world that this is the place that you want to live. I still do. And as dark as the days seem to be getting as winter is approaching and how cold and uncaring the world is turning, I know that the spark is still there. It's just simply smothered underneath all of the flags that we've heaved upon it. It's smoldering underneath a rotting pile of ageism and jingoism that won't stay forever. This nation can be what we want it to be, but only if we work towards that goal together. I'm not saying grab a person from the alt-right and invite them to dinner, but at the very least, start having the hard conversations with people that you do like. Find finding out that what we agree on is more than what we don't. And let's bring back the fire that we all fucking have and the fire that we need to change this world for the better.
Galaxy.